excited to talk to you. I saw the film. It's beautiful. 3 months is such a great coming of age story. It really makes you feel nostalgic and kind of tug at your heartstrings. Troye, let's start with you. So you haven't appeared in a movie since 2018's Boy Erased. I'm curious, what made you decide to take on this project?
I just really fell in love with the script, and anytime you get the luxury of being attached to something that is not just like a fun movie to watch, but also something that could actually make some change in the world. That's always really, really exciting to me. Plus, I just like fell in love with Caleb. I think he's really, really, really sweet, and he's got a lot of qualities that I kind of wish that I had.
Yeah, and I mean, it's on that kind of note, what attracted you all to your characters? Brienne, let's start with you.
I mean, what attracted me was the level of relatability I had to Dara. Although we have different lives, I understood her. I understood the feeling of being an outsider, of feeling like I'm unlovable unless I'm taking care of other people, and that I don't deserve to have that caretaking back in return. And yeah, I feel that. I think a lot of young people feel that, especially when your best friend is looking for a validation and value in a romantic relationship, and that person's not you. And I think this movie and what Dara made me realize and appreciate was that the people in your life that love you unconditionally, whether it be your family, your friend, or a romantic partner, it's, that's what matters, is the acceptance, the love, the ability to, really go out on a limb and be there for someone no matter what they're going through.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well said, and 100% agree with you on that. And how about you, Viviek?
I think I think the sort of navigating the young love aspect, I think it's quite sweet, and that sort of teen romance. Obviously, myself and Troye are not teenagers, and we haven't been teenagers for a little while. But it is fun to go back to sort of moments like that, where it's this idea of like, the sort of idea of getting a text from someone. This is a very sort of young thing, like getting a text from someone and going, actually, I'm not going to reply to that for a moment or 2 moments or 3 moments. I don't want to seem too eager. There's that sort of thing, but personified in their relationship, and that, like, how much do I reveal? How much do I show that I'm into this? And then eventually they're sort of quite into each other.
Yeah, you two had such good chemistry. How did the both of you kind of work on bonding throughout the film to kind of get that like wholesome, so cute, like innocent young love?
Well, for me, it was really easy actually, because Viviek played Esther like quite sort of deadpan, and I played Caleb quite like, I don't know, vivacious, I guess is the word. And that tension was just so fun for me that I really did have this thing where, like, I feel like I couldn't look at Viviek as Esther without wanting to just like smile, and it was this like push and pull that was really, really, really fun for me. Genuinely trying during takes to kind of like get this person to come out of their shell was it was like a fun challenge for me.
And the other way around as well, I found, I don't know, it is interesting when there is a sort of switch moment where Esther does go from being slightly more poker faced to like actually invested, and it's not just like a bit of fun, I actually quite like you. So again, that was fun. I think it felt like a sort of Troye's character was trying to get Esther to laugh quite a lot, and I was sort of
This movie, I mean, it's very heartfelt and heartwarming, very cute, but it also talks on really serious issues. I mean, it talks about teenage romance, sexuality, HIV testing, coming out. HIV awareness is so important, but remains a subject that isn't always openly discussed. How do you think this film will help shed a light on real life obstacles that people are facing? Troye, how about we start with you?
Yeah, so I mean, HIV, as far as like the public conversation goes, has been through such an interesting journey. In the very, very beginning, it was this absolutely terrifying disease that governments didn't pay attention to because they saw it as this like shameful gay disease, And then, of course, as a community, we went through just absolute hell, like the most traumatic thing that I can possibly imagine as a community. And so then that led to this insane shame and stigma around it, where people still kind of didn't know how to talk about it. And the truth is that we've come such a long way since then. And I still think that people don't know how to talk about it because of the sort of legacy of the disease. And we've made great progress. And I think that this movie is the goal is to kind of get rid of some of that stigma, to restart up that conversation and almost celebrate queer joy, which I think is something that we don't see very often, and the fact that medically we've made these huge strides where the message of the film is, you can be HIV positive and with access to healthcare, live a long, healthy, beautiful, queer life. And I think that that is something that is just, I'm so thankful to all of the people that, made that possible. And I kind of just want to scream from the rooftops about it and educate people, because it's still really important that, we take the precautions. Now that we know what we know and we have the medicines that we have, it's now just about letting people know that,
Yeah, and Troye, you wrote 2 songs for the film. How was it working on that music?
It was so fun. It was really, really cool because, when I go into the studio to write music for myself, I'm constantly putting all of this pressure on myself to think what do I want this to sound like? What is it that I really want to say right now? And is this super true to my life and everything? And I kind of got to go into the studio for this as Caleb and be like a 17-year-old and be like, okay, so it's 2011. He's probably on Tumblr all day. He's kind of a brat. What is he listening to? And what he thinks sounds cool. And, to write lyrics and everything from his perspective, it was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, and you're also going to be in the weekend's show, The Idol. What can you tease about that upcoming project?
Honestly, I don't think I'm really allowed to tease anything other than the fact that I'm in the show and that the show is happening. And
you dyed your hair for it?
I dye my hair for it, yeah. It's been so much fun. I hope that it never ends.
Yeah, and you were also in a Blue Ivy campaign. How was it working with Beyonce, and how did that whole thing come to be? Because that campaign looks amazing.
Well, thank you. So I got the email, it was from the Ivy Park team being like, it was something like, B would love Troye to be in this campaign. And I was like, yeah, right.
B would love Troye.
I did not believe it for 1 second, but it seemingly was true, because I did the campaign, and it was just a really, really fun day. Unfortunately, Beyonce was not there that day. So
it's okay. You still repped Ivy Park. And is music taking a back seat while you work on kind of more acting projects, or are you doing both simultaneously?
Honestly, it kind of is. I mean, I'm just really full on at the moment with the show, and it's hard for me to switch gears. I really enjoy the process of bunkering down and making an album, and to not be able to do that, you can grab a random studio day here or studio day there, and it's just not, it's not super conducive to me really being able to sink my teeth into something. So the second I wrap on the TV show, I'm gonna just disappear from the rest of the world and go write an album.
And then last question, Troye, I saw on your Instagram this morning that you want to wash your friends' cars. I'm curious, have you washed either of your co-stars' cars? Is that an option?
I would love to. Maybe we can go after this. Did you drive here?
Yeah. No, wait, I didn't. I had to drop me off. But you know what's crazy is that actually on the hood of my car, in the front little crevice, there's a garden growing, it's sprouting. And so I kind of don't want to wash my car because I want to see what it turns into, but that's also disgusting.
Yeah, it's also it could be a problem, but right now it looks cool.
Kind of cute.
I feel like mechanically that's definitely going to be an issue.
It's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
So maybe you can wash my car.
Okay.